Hey, what's up, everybody? MysterySchooler here, back with another live presentation. Today, we're going over the real North Pole, Mount SuMERU, also known as Mount Meru. Now, if you guys haven't heard of this one, definitely check out Eric Dubé's channel. There's a great video on it, Axis Mundi, Pulvis Polaris. There's many names for this place. Eden, Garden of Eden, even. How are you all today? All right, we got Jess Palmer in the house. What's up, buddy? Yeah, check it out right there, right? Right at Truman's feet. You're going to enjoy this one, buddy. Stick around. How's everyone today? I appreciate all of you. We're going to start with a quick song, and I'm going to get right into the presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, if you ever seen the movie The Truman Show, I swear to God, that movie has more truth in it than our entire education put together. But yeah, definitely check out Truman Show. Everybody in the world tries to stop him from exploring. He's a kid. He's like, I want to explore one day. The teacher's really quick. The teacher's on point with the map. Nope, it's too late. You can't explore. In fact, it's the oldest established treaty between nations in history. Pretty sure it's called the North Antarctic Treaty. But yeah, it's super illegal to explore. So if you guys think like, oh, we know what's out there, you're allowed to go out there. People go out there. Nah, bro. Nah. You're talking like hard felony time. Like, no, you cannot take your boat and just go sell wherever the fuck you want. That's not true at all. Anyways, yeah, where are we, huh? And you guys are probably wondering what is with the ice wall, right? It's like what is this a concept of an ice wall even like? Well, I think that the firmament above is a dome that's been put over us, like Genesis, and perhaps the base of where the dome is resting is the ice wall we're seeing. I don't know, just speculating. Or the ice wall that people have posted videos that allegedly exists. I don't know. Like I said, we're not allowed to go out there, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, it's sick. Yeah, remember in Truman Show they even spoilers for the Truman Show, by the way, guys. I know it's a really old ass movie, but spoilers. To traumatize Truman into not exploring and to being afraid of water, they actually fake his father's death and then make a whole episode about it because he's on TV. All right, we got Salted Cedar in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Oh yeah, Jess Palmer says Autodidactic is a great channel if you haven't seen it. David was on it this morning. Yeah, Autodidactic's great channel. I love him. Check him out. 100%. Yeah, to be autodidactic is to be self-learned. Yeah, they fake Truman's father's death to traumatize him from exploring. That's why he has a problem with going over the bridge and even near water at all. So they conditioned him from a young age to think, oh, there's no reason to explore. There's no reason to go out there, even to be afraid. He's conditioned from a young age, huh? Sound familiar, anybody? No, you can't go out there. You'll die. Oh, the government says we can't go in the mountains. We could hit our head. We could fall down, hit our head on a rock. Oh, and we could damage the rocks. So they got to protect us from the rock. They got to protect the rocks from us. So we can't go underground and explore. And out there in the ocean. Oh, well, you could drown. Yeah, you could drown. So yeah, no one could go out there. This is this country's territory. This is this country's territory. You need a passport to pass this line. Blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, you can't just go out and fucking explore. I don't know what the hell people are talking about. Their fucking delusions. Like you could just be an explorer. Okay, have fun with that. How long is that gonna last, huh? Yeah, and for anybody wondering, what do you mean? Where are we, bro? Like, don't you know where we are? It's pretty. They've established this. Well, I don't know. Here, this is where we are. This is the Mercator map. This is where we are. And you guys won't be able to see my cursor, but all flights go around this shit. In the middle here, Eden, Meru, this whole area, they all go. Pulling this out of my butt. Look it up. The flight paths are at an angle where they just go around all this stuff. They don't just fly directly over this shit. Why is that? Is there something they don't want you to see? See, because right now the mainstream narrative is that it's just ice down there, and there's not much land below it, if any at all. Right? It's just, and in reality, it's before the ice, there was tons of land down there, and I don't think it was that long ago. Yeah, there's Canada, U.S., Greenland, Europe, Russia, Asia. That's where we're at, guys. This is where you live. Can you believe you're this age and you made it this far in life, and we're just establishing where we are and who we are, or whatever. We're just beginning to scratch the surface because we've been lied to so much from day one that it has to be, MysterySchooler on his fucking patio showing you this shit. Like, this is what it's come to. Like, what the hell, right? Humanity's in a sad state right now. Now, this is one depiction. Guys, before we even get started, I'd like to point out there's so many cultures with this stuff. With this Mount Meru thing, Axis Mundi, Pulvis Polaris, Rupus Nigra, this place existed, man, in the middle of the earth. I think this is where mankind came from. I think this is perhaps the Garden of Eden that we were in fact casted out of. That's what I think. And I really like this picture because it's said that all the waters of the earth were moving in one direction at one point. So I'm thinking that means there was like no still water or very little still water, right? But what have we done now? We've redirected the water, we've stilled it, we've stopped it in some places, we've dammed it, we've done all kinds of stuff. So the water is not one big moving body. This depiction here shows to me like it was all one controlled moving body. Now I want to further speculate on that thought. If there's no still water, right? Well, a lot of nasty life forms come from still water. I mean, think of all the terrible things that come from still water, right? Mosquitoes, all the bad bugs and everything scary that you don't want to touch you. It's parasitic shit that wants to kill you. It comes from still water. So what I'm saying is still water even a design of the Lord? Or is that something we've done through damming and destroying his beautiful realm? Look at this depiction, guys. Was all the water controlled in one direction? See, I think Earth is more like a machine, to be honest. Or it was at one point, it was a machine, I think. And they were able to, our ancestors were able to control the machine or work it or understood its workings better or in a way that was clear or something. And anyways, it seems like mankind had a full symbiotic relationship with the realm. We had a symbiotic relationship with our land. And they depicted, after we got casted out of the garden, they depicted Mount Meru everywhere. They depicted Eden everywhere. We're going to go over in this presentation, guys. If you think this is just like, oh, he's going off of, he's stretching off of one photo. No, believe me, this is a huge rabbit hole. Mount Meru. That's why why do you think there's so many Mount Merus, so many mountain peaks named Mount Meru worldwide? Because when everybody dispersed from Eden in the middle, right, they all came from where? Mount Meru. So when they were in their new homes dispersed out in the rest of the world, what did they name the local mountains? Mount Meru. Is that why there's so many Mount Merus? Check it out. I don't know. Think about it. Is that why the mythology is so consistent and adds up together so well? I don't know. The mainstream narrative tells us all these cultures were separated for thousands of years and all this stuff, but then all the myths are the same effing story. What the heck, right? Figure that one out. A letter by the Flemish cartographer Gerard Mercator to his friend, the English scientist, occultist, and royal advisor John Dee. That letter, written in 1577 and now in the British Museum, mentions that in the midst of the four countries is a whirlpool, into which there empty these four indrawing seas, which divide the north, the equator. And the water rushes round and descends into the earth, just as if one were pouring it through a filter funnel. It is 4 degrees wide on every side of the pole, that is to say 8 degrees altogether, except that right under the pole there lies a bare rock in the midst of the sea. Its circumference is almost 3 French miles. Interesting measurement there, huh, guys? 33 French miles. We might want to take this documented at British Museum with a grain of salt. Anyways, and it is all of magnetic stone. A giant magnetic rock exactly at the North Pole. Well, that would explain why all compasses point north, wouldn't it? Now check this out, guys. I got this excerpt here, just the white text, from this link on the bottom here, bigthink.com/strange maps. And look how they simultaneously hold 2 points, right? Because this white text is from the guy who published this article, right? And look at the title, The First False Map of the True North. Talk about a double-speaking fundy nitwit, huh? Talk about holding 2 points at once, right? I love this. I love it when they just prove our point for us and then continue to say no, but nuh-uh, that's why. Nuh-uh to your uh-huh. So, yeah, crazy, right? Yeah, could the ice wall be real? And could you cover it even? Or is the firmament right atop of it? So even if you were to climb the peak, would there just be like, this invisible firmament or this glass-like material firmament blocking you anyways? Like a terrarium, petri dish. Is it really so hard to imagine? It's possible. We're in a petri dish. We're in a terrarium. We're in a experiment. What do you guys think? I think it's fascinating. Now, this is from a video game. In this video game, God of War 2018, it's Norse mythology, the realm it's set in. And they have this big temple. It's a machine on the inside, though. And the temple actually stays still, except for a mechanism, a ring on the outside of it. When it spins, it takes you travel to a different realm, but without moving. So it's all the realms are simultaneously existing on top of each other. This is similar Norse mythology, and honestly, a lot of Olympic, Greek mythology, Greco-Roman mythology is very similar as well. I'm just trying to say they show us the truth in the games, guys. They really do. And these video games, they're sometimes Yeah, they're multi-million-dollar productions. So, if you think that the Masons don't have hands, or whoever's going to go around don't have their hands showing us this, the whole media, then you're dead wrong. You're wrong. I don't believe it, dude. The guy's on a motorcycle going like 3 miles an hour, like streaming. Good God. Hey, what are you even doing? Oh, my life. Ancient Buddhist, Vedic, and Jain traditional cosmology state that at the North Pole magnetic center of the Earth is a mountain of magnetite called Mount Meru. The Puranic and Sumerian traditions also spoke of this mountain, SuMERU. Now, I think it's interesting that the name SuMERU, huh? Because we have Sumerian, yes. Is it possible the Sumerians aren't actually from Africa, or weren't originally from Africa? The mountain is called SuMERU. They are the Sumerians. Huh? Anybody? Let's check back on the chat real quick. Danny Staden, welcome, buddy. How you doing today? Danny Staden says, "Is this for real, bro? I'm telling you, Axis Mundi. It's a huge rabbit hole. Don't take my word for it. Look into it. Eric Dubé covers a really good video on it." All right, yeah. Danny Staden says, "This is blowing my mind. Wake and bake is not the time to try to grasp this." I know, right? Yeah, I try to space my wake and bake till after I present. Otherwise, I get really slow, really giggly. All right, Meta Yarby in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. We got Mr. Super Sidewinder. All right, what's up? Mr. Super Sidewinder says, "We got you, Danny. Smoke on, buddy." Oh, Danny Stain says, "I love this stuff." Oh, bro, alternative cosmology or whatever you want to call it, it's really interesting, bro. Trying to figure out this realm from a different perspective, other than what they've been giving us at NASA and all this stuff, just absolutely fascinates me. And a lot of this stuff, I got turned onto it through mythology, and then through mythology to science, and then to science, this, realizing that they were right. The ancients were right. Yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep. Take the red pill. All right, for the Indian peak, see Mount Meru Peak. For the Tanzanian mountain, see Mount Meru, Kenya. For the mountain in the Meru region, Kenya, see Mount Kenya. You see what I mean, guys? For the Mount Meru in Buddhism, see Mount Meru Buddhism. Now, this is separate. Have I made my point? Mount Meru, Sanskrit, also known as SuMERU, or Hamaru, the second sacred five-peaked mountain of Hindu, Jain, and Buddhist cosmology, and is considered the center of all the physical, metaphysical, and spiritual universes. Many famous Buddhist, Jain, and Hindu temples have been built as a replication of this mountain. And don't worry, guys, I'm going to cover that as well. Now, this is what I was talking about a second ago when I showed you that video game and I said the realms are on top of each other, simultaneously exist in the same plane. This Norse mythology right here, guys, the actual mythology, whatever you want to call it, this is real Norse mythology right here. Check it out. There's us Midgar in the middle right there. I don't know. That seems pretty consistent with what they're showing us in the video game, doesn't it? The realms existing right on top of each other simultaneously. I'm just going to tell you guys how it is, straight up how I think it is. The electromagnetic spectrum is reality. And the visible spectrum, that is our senses of that spectrum, are very limited. So what I'm saying is these realities very well exist simultaneously on top of us, but we are unable to perceive it in any way whatsoever because our senses are limited. For example, on the electromagnetic spectrum, there could be something that exists just near you. You won't be able to see it. If it's higher or lower on this range, depends, right? Does it kind of sound like ghosts and demons to you? That's what I'm thinking. Don't get it twisted, guys. Religion and science they're one. It's later they started trying to confuse us with that shit. That it's different. It's really one. Yeah, Mr. Super Sidewire says, yeah, a layered cake. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, totally. I mean, that seems to be what the ancients are getting at here. Mount Meru or SuMERU is at the center of the world. Look at this, guys. They even have the measurements of it. Like, not only do they say it exists and blah, blah, does this place exist, blah, blah, blah. They have the measurements of it right here. Look, it's 80,000 yojana, however it is wide, 80,000 yojanas high. What the heck? Look, 84,000 yojanas high, according to the Long Agama Sutra. How many different cultures and writings measured this place? It sounds like the Bible, doesn't it? We're over here debating if the place exists at all, and these guys are giving us measurements of it. For God's sake. At some point, you just have to say, do you trust your ancestors or don't you? I do trust my ancestors. My ancestors were smart as fuck. Look at all this shit they built. Look at all the writings they did, okay? It's only recently in the last couple hundred years these guys come out of nowhere. We paid this much money a year to tell you this, and that's actually this. Oh, okay, Mr. Professor, but thanks for all the info. We really appreciate you. Where will you be? Oh, I won't be exploring anything myself. I'll be in my mansion. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Awesome. Meanwhile, back at the progression of humanity, staying in the same place. Anywho, I get upset sometimes. The sun and the moon revolve around Mount Meru, and as the sun passes behind it, it becomes nighttime. Oh, that's an interesting idea, huh, guys? The mountain has 4 faces, each one made of a different material. The northern face is made of gold. The eastern one is made of crystal. The southern one is made of lapis lazuli. And the western one is made of ruby. Wow. Which one would you want to hang out the most? Huh? Which one would you want to see first? I think I'd go to check out the lapis lazuli one first. That's probably so beautiful. That's blue, right? Dark blue. Could you imagine at its pinnacle of its creation? Man, do to get cast out of this garden for real. Eating fruit, I don't know. It's probably something else. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Soma, Soma. This is another rabbit hole. I'm sure it's Hindu mythology. It's one of those areas, anyways. Yeah, Soma. The ancients were fighting over. They're having massive wars over the Soma stuff they were eating. I don't know. Maybe it was something. Maybe it's the fruit of this tree. I don't know. Or to fight over it. I don't know. Just speculating here. But yeah, it is also believed that Mount Meru is the home of the Buddha Kakra Samara. Now, here's one of those actual temples depicting this place. Hasin Yumi Pagoda in Mandalay, Myanmar, representing Mount SuMERU. Check out, guys, huh? I mean, that doesn't look like it was that easy to build. I'm not saying it was impossible, but I don't think they built it because it was such a strange, idea, myth or whatever. Would you build such a structure off of a myth? Off of just something someone came out, some pipe dream someone came up with? So you built this structure? No. They were motivated by something. They saw something. And like I keep saying, guys, this is a worldwide phenomenon. This isn't just one country, one myth, one local area where they believe this. This is worldwide. All right, Daily Dan Blog says, I'm a paranormal investigator in South Carolina. Wow, that sounds interesting, bro. You see anything interesting, or just a bunch of misfires, or what? Oh, man, I really appreciate that. Thanks, Daily Dan Blog. Everybody, make sure to check out Daily Dan Blog. Sub to Daily Dan Blog. We got to support each other, guys. We're a small community. YouTube doesn't really do it for us, so we got to do it. All right, we got Sheila Loya in the house. What's up? Right on. The paranormal side. Welcome. Mr. Super Sidewinder says, you're the late Truman. There's nothing left to discover. Yeah. Yeah, you're too late, Truman. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the teacher is, watch that scene again, bro. The teacher is on point. Truman goes, I want to be an explorer. She, man, it's like it's a half of a second. She's got the map out. She's got the map pulled down in front of the chalkboard. Oh, well, you're too late. She was ready for that one, huh? How many kids has she told? How many kids' sense of exploration has she destroyed in the past, huh? Oh, well, you're too late. It's so funny, too. People come at me. Well, in my indoctrination center, I was told this. Well, that's great, but that's an indoctrination center, so you know they could be trying to indoctrinate you. I think you called it university. I just want to say, guys, some of my friends are college graduates are some of the dumbest people too. So I just want to point that out. I'm not saying all college graduates are dumb, but I don't know what the hell they're teaching in those places. But just dye your hair Kool-Aid color and wear ridiculously big glasses, and that's about it. Oh, this is interesting, guys. Check this out. In Jainism, there are two sets of sun, moon, and stars revolving around Mount Meru. While one set works, the other set rests behind Mount Meru. Wow. See, when I hear depictions like that, I think like, oh, Mount Meru or whatever might have been Yggdrasil before. I think, guys, Yggdrasil in Norse mythology, I think that big tree in the middle, I think that 100% used to exist. That used to exist 100%. All right, we got 13 people watching. Hit that like button for me, guys. Appreciate all of you. Now, I thought this was interesting. I've never heard of this. Have you guys heard of this Javanese? Anybody heard of the Javanese people? I've heard of the Japanese people, but the Javanese people, this is new to me. This mythical mountain of gods was mentioned in the Tantu Pagalarana, an old Javanese manuscript written in the 15th century, Mahapahit period. The manuscript describes the mythical origin of the island of Java, or probably Java, as well as the legendary movement of portions of Mount Meru to Java. Now this is interesting. Remember, guys, how we just went over how many different Mount Merus there are throughout the world, how many different peaks are named Mount Meru. Now, I pointed out that I thought it was because they all came from the same place. They all came from the center. So when they dispersed, our Babel incident, when they were dispersed, they all named their local mountains after what they remember as best they could, Mount Meru. But perhaps it's this. This says that the mountains, pieces of Mount Meru actually move around. See, this isn't starting to sound like a machine, guys. Do you see why I say it's a machine? The Earth, they talk about mountains and ocean stuff. It's just pieces in a puzzle. The manuscript describes the mythical origin of the island of Java, as well as the legendary movement of portions of Mount Meru to Java. And this could be what's it called? The continental drift or whatever it is they tell us about the mainstream narrative. The manuscript explains the Bhattara guru Shiva ordered the gods Brahma and Vishnu to fill Java with human beings. However, at that time, Java Island was floating freely on the ocean, always tumbling and shaking. To stop the island's movement, the gods decided to nail it to the earth by moving the part of Mahameru in India and attaching it to Java. The resulting mountain is Mount SuMERU, the tallest mountain on Java. Wow, check that out, guys. So the earth was just floating, I guess. Or hold on. Yeah, the island of Java was just shaking around and all unstable because it was just floating on water. And to stop the movement, the gods put a needle through the earth, and that's Mount Meru. Wow. What the hell? That's crazy, huh? You see what I mean when I say things like we're in a petri dish? You know what I mean? Now, to move a mountain, and just put it through a continent like a nail, right? How big would you have to be, right? Or how powerful would you have to be? Yeah, did they open up the petri dish and put a nail through right there and then close it again? We're like, oh my god, the gods are back! Ah! The scientist is, oh, look, they're moving, right? I don't know. Kind of reminds me of the end of Men in Black 1 with the marble bouncing around. Now we're going to cover some more architecture representing Mount Meru worldwide. The concept of a holy mountain surrounded by various circles incorporated into ancient Hindu temple architecture, with the Shikara, a Sanskrit word translating literally to mountain peak. Early examples of this style can be found at the Harshat Mata Temple and the Harshnath Temple from the 8th century CE to Rajasthan, Western India. This concept also continued outside India, such as in Bali, where temples featured Meru towers. In Buddhist temples, the Mahabodhi Temple in Bodh Gaya is the earliest example of the 5th and 6th century depiction. Many other Buddhist temples took on this form, such as the Wat Arun in Thailand and the pagoda in Myanmar. Guys, if you like this topic, definitely check out my Expedition to Inner Earth video, and definitely check out Finding Inner Earth video, because it's kind of coincides with each other. But basically, a lot of these shrines and these temples are direct depictions of Mount Meru. They're usually direct depictions of Mount Meru with an entrance to a subterranean realm below. See, because I think to get to Mount Meru or Eden and all these, whatever you want to call it, there was passages underground to get there, possibly. The Cave of the Patriarchs, for example. Definitely check out that Finding Inner Earth video for that topic. And yeah, here's another example, guys. This is a depiction of Mount Meru at Jambunweep, a Jain temple in Uttar Pradesh, northern India. Now, there's also a lot of traditions and stuff that survived from when we were from this place, and our ancestors wanted us to remember. That's why it was so ingrained in the tradition, but we didn't, forgotten. But we're going to remember today, guys. Let me give you an example of these stupid traditions, okay? What do you think this is all about? Like, you think this is because it's fun to dance around a pole and it's that simple or whatever? No, this kind of stuff survived tradition because these are the celestials, the stars circling Polaris. The one in the center, directly above Meru. This stuff is tradition that survived as best as they could, but it's been so convoluted and lost time where now we're like, hey, it's fun to skip around the pole, right? Yeah. It is fun. Hey, running in circles is fun. Mr. Super Sidewinder says, I wanted to try carbon dating, but those bitches are crazy. Dude, carbon dating is super debatable science, Like, it's funny that so much of the mainstream narrative is based off of, we dated a rock. How could you argue with our logic? We dated this rock. And since we dated this rock, we were able to date all the rest of the rocks and the sediment layers. And so we know for a fact this layer of sediment is 50 bajillion gajillion years old because we dated the rock. Yeah, and that means these bones here of these animals, these large animals, they must have been dinosaurs. And we put them together like this. You can't see the bones though. Oh, okay. My favorite topics are the things where we can't see. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing inside the mountains, like all the legends say, but you can't go in there. You can't see. Okay, suspicious as fuck, right? Oh, the realm's been explored, but rocket fuel is the most monitored thing on any watch list for the government anywhere. But don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, dating rocks, guys. Yeah, I'm just saying, people come at me so outraged. How could you disagree with the mainstream narrative? Don't you know they dated a rock? They already dated a rock. You're so silly for even wondering why to question the sediment layers and all this shit. They dated the rock. What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. You're right. Moving on. Like you can't get anywhere with this shit. It's like, dude, if that first reading was wrong, then it's all wrong. It's like I was saying yesterday too, guys. Fine, okay, fine. The Earth is how old? A gajillion, bazillion years old. Okay, fine. Where's all the million-year-old forests? Where's the 2 million-year-old trees? Where's the 3 million-year-old forest? Or 4 million-year-old forest? Where's the 5 million-year-old forest? Guys, we're nowhere near a billion yet. Should I keep going? Where's the 6 million-year-old forest? I don't see trees that old. The oldest the trees get are what? What's a really old tree now? 800 years old, right? That's weird. Yeah, I think this is what tradition with the maypole that we're just looking at is, guys. That this is what we're looking at here. That's what the dancing around the maypole is. That's what that tradition is. And let me give you another one. Boomski, right there. Mecca. This is a depiction of Mount Meru, guys, and the celestials above circling, and us circling the flow of time. What do you think this is? Because it's fun? Again, because it's fun to go in circles? Meta Yarby. Exactly, bro. Thank you. If Morgan Freeman is narrating, it's probably not true. Right? Yeah. I mean, all these guys are insiders, man. All these major Hollywood folk, they're insiders. You don't get to play ball unless you go with their agenda or whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. We put about a day and a half into it. And believe me, we scratched the surface, guys. We scratched the surface. I could probably do this all day, this topic. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Yeah, so I don't think it's fun to just walk around the circle. I think that they're depicting Mount Meru here. And it's not just old structures either, or outdated ruins, destroyed ruins or anything like this. I mean, look at this, guys. Buddhist prang in Wat Arun, Bangkok, Thailand, representing Mount SuMERU. Wow. And I like the pillars around the middle because, like, what are these towers? These Meru towers they were talking about earlier, right? Well, I think they might be what it talks about in the Bible. The pillars, the invisible pillars of the earth or whatever. Talks about it in the Bible. Yeah. Well, there they are. The four corners of the earth. Very consistent with ancient depictions. What do you guys think? Also, in that video game I showed you guys, if you notice in the middle, if you go to the world map in God of War 2018 and zoom in on the middle, you see there's even the line protruding left where it's making that 90 there. See that? So, I mean, that's definitely what they're trying to show us. Also, in that game, I'm sure a few people notice the edge world map it's a table. It's like a map table, South America. They're telling you the truth. They just do it with lies. They give you like a lie with 20% truth, 10% truth, and then that's all we got to go off of. But I really appreciate all you guys. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. I really appreciate you. Leave a comment, let me know. I might go live again right now. If not right now, it's for sure going to be tomorrow. We're going to go over some pygmy graveyards that were discovered in Tennessee, North America. All right, guys, take care. Have a good day, okay?